Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am here with 20 perfumes to round out 2020 with. So these are all perfumes that were standouts to me. These are all perfumes that I purchased this year. I've got a whole bunch here, and they're all here for different reasons. So like I say, I've got 20 perfumes here. I didn't write down notes because I really just want to go through them all and talk about why they stood out to me. These are some of my favorites, some of my most worn. These are all fragrances that just stood out to me in 2020. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. Yeah, the first couple I'm going to refer to as Melissa Jean made me buy them. So earlier this year, I discovered Melissa Jean's channel, but I binge watched all of her videos. I don't think she had too many out at that point, but throughout all of her videos, she would always talk about this fragrance. This is Tender Romance from Ralph Lauren. And I remember her because I'm kind of still in a pear phase. Like I've realized that, like I didn't go into a pear phase the way I did like Rose, where I just became obsessed with it. But I realized that pear is a note in fragrance that I really, really enjoy. So when she said that this one had been discontinued, and when I looked up the notes in it and saw that it had pear in it, I knew I had to have it. And this is such a stunner of a fragrance. Like I say, this has been discontinued. She is very lucky enough to have a huge 5-ounce bottle of this, which is amazing because this is such a beautiful fragrance. This was one of those that this stands out to me because I was so surprised by how much I love it. It's just a stunner of a fragrance. Like if you guys ever come across this, definitely snap it up while you can because it's going to be sad when this one is like gone forever. But yeah, this is one of my Melissa Jean made me buy it fragrances, and it was just a complete standout this year for me. Another one, and this is one of my most worn of 2020, but this is also a Melissa Jean made me buy it. This is Justin Bieber The Key. This is a fragrance that I would have never ever like sought out had I not heard Melissa Jean talk about it and how easy breezy and beautiful it was. And I picked it up. I found it on eBay for like 10 bucks. This is a little 1-ounce bottle. I'm gonna need to get a big bottle of this. I first bought the wrong one. At first I bought Justin Bieber, the collector's edition, which is in this same bottle, but instead of a key, it's got like a record album on it, and it's also in a frosted glass bottle. And I realized I bought the wrong one, and so I turned around and bought this. I love this one so much more. This is such a beautiful, sweet, shampoo-y scent. This is one of my most worn scents of 2020. It's just an easy breezy one. It's one that I can wear to work, and I'm not going to offend anybody. It's just a lovely, lovely, clean, sweet, shampoo-y fragrance. But yeah, this one, not only was it a most worn of 2020, but it was just a standout. It was just such a little surprising fragrance because it was so good, and I just didn't expect it to be. And not that I didn't expect it to be, it's just one that I would have never ever tried had I not heard Melissa Jean talk about this and talk about how good it was. So yeah, that is Justin Bieber The Key, and this is one that I am like head over heels in love with. I need to get a bigger bottle. Okay, with pear in mind, this is another one that I picked up early on this year. This is Jean Paul Gaultier Labelle. This perfume has been incredibly hyped up, especially in 2020. Every fragrance reviewer at some point has talked about Labelle. I'm pretty sure we all love it. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they don't like this fragrance. I'm sure there are people out there that don't like it, but it's pretty unanimously just a beautiful fragrance. This is basically pear, vanilla, and vetiver. It is a super simple fragrance, but it is such a stunner of a fragrance. This is probably, I wouldn't say it's one of my most worn. I've definitely worn it a ton. You can see there's a good amount gone. This is probably my most complimented fragrance of 2020 though. This one is, people absolutely love this. It lasts forever on my skin. This is a beast on me, and it's just so good. It's just such a pleasing, beautiful pear, vanilla, yummy fragrance. So Yeah, this is probably my most complimented of 2020 and one of my favorite purchases of 2020 for sure. So that is Jean Paul Gaultier Labelle. Okay, these are a couple, well, I've got a few summer fragrances here that really surprised me. These are some of my favorite summer fragrances I picked up this year. The first one is Un Jardin sur le Toit from Hermes. This was one, I think I picked up like Un Mediterranee or something like that in a little half-ounce bottle, and somebody told me to get this one. And holy cow, you guys, do I love this. Now, I don't think that this would be for everybody because this is like a watery rose fragrance, but it's got a grass note in it and it also has basil in it. So it's not like too out there smelling. I don't feel like, I don't feel like it wouldn't be a safe blind buy, but I don't necessarily think it would be a safe blind buy either. I think if you don't mind the idea of a grass note, if you like rose, and if you don't mind basil, or if you like basil, I think you would really love this. But this is a beautiful fragrance. It lasts absolutely forever on me. It's so fresh and beautiful and feminine and floral without being too floral. It definitely fed my rose obsession because it does have a gorgeous, fresh, watery rose note in it. It's just stunning. So I adore this fragrance. This is one of my favorite summer purchases of 2020. This is Un Jardin sur le Toit from Hermes. Next, we have a fragrance that I discovered because I was looking for a dupe for Tom Ford's Soleil Neige. And I was looking for a dupe because, number one, Tom Ford's fragrances, especially some of the more summery ones, don't last on me. So instead of forking out a bunch of money for Soleil Neige, which I had read is a very bad performing fragrance, I looked for an alternative and I found this one called Kenzo Power. And this is another one of my favorite summer purchases of 2020. Now, I wouldn't say that this is like 100% dupe, but I would say it's a good 95% dupe. It's so beautiful. This is super unisex. This is like a cold smelling fragrance, if that makes any sense. It's very easy breezy. It's a little bit sweet. And like I say, it's got a coolness to it, like a very cold presence about it. I just love it. It's a really good alternative for Tom Ford Soleil Neige, and it lasts so much longer on the skin. I do have a decant that I got from my Royalty Scents box of Soleil Neige, so I was able to compare the two, and they're really, like I say, this is like a 95% dupe for it. So, or who duped who? Because I think Kenzo Power came out first. This is technically a man's cologne, but I wear it and I don't feel like I smell masculine. So anyways, that is Kenzo Power, one of my favorite summer cologne fragrances that I bought in 2020. Okay, next let's talk about some Zara fragrances. So I did quite a few massive Zara hauls in 2020, and I definitely have some standouts. Now, I have so many fragrances that I bought from Zara this year that I think are outstanding. Rose Gourmand is so beautiful. Probably the best performing Zara fragrance I've tested all year. I've gotten so many good ones, but I really had to just pare it down to a few so I wouldn't get too out of hand. One of my most favorite Zara discoveries this year, though, has been Violet Blossom. And oh, I love this fragrance so much. A lot of people say that this is a dupe for Alien. I don't smell that at all. I don't get Alien at all. This is just a beautiful, sweet vanilla. I think it's got jasmine in it. It's gorgeous. This one doesn't last the longest on the skin, but I don't care. This 1 ounce bottle is like $10, so you can spray the heck out of it. I can just way overspray it, which will help with the longevity, and it's just one of my favorite Zara discoveries from 2020 for sure. This is, like, in my opinion, this is the best one from this really inexpensive line that they have. So that is Zara Violet Blossom. And then I've got a couple from the Zara Emotions or the Joe Loves line. And the only reason I included these was because number one, these are the two standouts in the collection for me. And number two, we finally got these in the United States. Like, us here in the States have been watching other perfume reviewers talk about these fragrances for like a year or longer, and we have not been able to get our hands on them. So just the fact that we finally got them was really exciting for this year. And these are the two standouts for me. So the first one that I really loved was Waterlily Tea Dress. This is just a beautiful, watery, oh my gosh, watery green floral fragrance. It's so, so stunning. This is one that I need to get the body lotion to see if I can get this to hang around longer, because it's just such a stunning fragrance. And if you love Jo Malone, but they're just out of your price range, definitely check out this line. These don't wear any better or worse than an original Jo Malone, so, but they're like a tenth of the cost. So that is Waterlily Tea Dress. And then the other one, my absolute favorite from this line, was Bohemian Bluebells. And I love this fragrance so much. Oh my gosh, this is lavender and sandalwood. It's soft and cozy and creamy smelling. I can layer this with my Lush Sleepy Lotion to make it last longer. It's just a stunning lavender fragrance. One of my favorites, like hands down. And before I got this, I had a lovely subscriber send me over some decants, and in it she sent Bohemian Bluebells, which was when I smelled this for the first time, and I absolutely fell in love. So this was one of my favorites, hands down, of 2020. Like, just because it's just one of my favorites. So anyways, that is Bohemian Bluebells from Zara. Okay, next we have one that another subscriber, Mr. Giancarlo, he recommended this fragrance to me in the comment section, and I immediately picked it up because he has the best taste in perfume. He to me is like the Tara Babies of the makeup world. He's like that of the fragrance world. He literally has so much, and he's tried so much, and he's just got excellent taste. So as soon as he said to pick this up, I picked it up. This is called Velvet Amber Oud, and this is from a house called Rihanah, but not like Rihanna, the singer Rihanna. It's like it's another house that you can find on Fragrance X. This is so affordable, and this was definitely one of the standouts of this year for me. This is just stunning. It's such a weird, like, cacophony of notes. It's got like, it's so strange, but oh my gosh, you guys, it's so good. It's kind of like I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like you walk into one of those hippie head shops that has like incense burning. It's kind of like that, but then it's got this weird like mountain air note in it, or something, if I remember correctly, that gives it this light freshness. It's such a strange fragrance, but this was one of my favorite purchases of 2020 because, number one, it's so affordable, and number two, for the price, it's so, so good. It's so unique. I've never smelled anything like this. It was just absolutely one of the standouts. I could not have made a 2020 video without this fragrance because it is so good. It was like $24. This is a huge 4.2 ounce bottle, and I just adore it. So that is Velvet Amber Oud from Rihanna. This can be found on Fragrance X. Okay, another one of my favorite summer fragrances from this year was Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun. And I can't believe that when I grabbed this, I was like, I don't know why I'm including a light blue flanker, but I fell in love with this. This was one of my most worn summer fragrances as well. I know it doesn't look like it, but I really wore the heck out of this summer. This is a gorgeous light blue flanker. It smells like light blue, like it's not such a departure that you can't smell the original light blue DNA, but this has got a gorgeous, like creamy, like creaminess to it. In my mind, this is like the gourmand version of light blue, if there was one. It's just such a stunner. If I had to pick one, now somebody told me I need to try the Escape to Paneria one because they said that that's a gourmand version too. So I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to get that one too because there's something about these that I love. But if I had to choose one right now, this is by far my favorite light blue flanker. It's just gorgeous. It's just got this beautiful like creamy gourmand aspect to it that I know sounds weird because light blue is such a beautiful, fresh fragrance, but oh my gosh, it's so good. So that is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun. And then another one that was a total surprise, like accident discovery. I can't believe that I didn't, like, I don't know. I just don't know why I never picked this one up before. This is Burberry, and this is just Burberry London. Yeah, it's just Burberry London for her. This is the one with that fabric like sleeve on it, and I bought a bundle of perfumes, and I bought it for a different perfume. I don't even remember which one now, but this came in that bundle, and there wasn't that much left in this, and well, I mean, there is a good amount. Like you can see, if I can get this little thing up, you can see there's a good, you know, at least a quarter of it left, and this is the big bottle. This is a 3.3 ounce, but this one was just such a surprise because I fell absolutely in love with it. It's just a beautiful, to me, warm floral that can be worn any time of year. And a lot of people were like, oh, it smells really cold to me. And I can see where people think it smells cold too. It's just, yeah, I could definitely see how it could smell cold, but there's a warmth to this. It's just a beautiful, warm, sweet floral. Because of this, I am like obsessed with the idea of getting every Burberry perfume made for women, period, because I have found that I just love Burberry perfumes so much. They're just gorgeous, but this one was a real surprise. I just didn't think that I would love it as much as I do, and this started me on my journey to collect every Burberry fragrance out there. So anyways, that is just Burberry London for her. And this was just, this, I would say this is the biggest surprise of 2020 for me. Okay, another one. This one, I fear that I created like a lot of buzz around this, and like I didn't mean to, I just fell in love with it so much. And I found this fragrance on my journey to find a dupe for Memo's Winter Palace because I love Winter Palace. It's just too expensive. And so yeah, I looked for a dupe of it, and this is what I found. This is Brocard My Cup of Tea 5 o'clock. This is a Russian house, and I adore this. And I have a sample, like a carded sample of Memo's Winter Palace, and I have this. I have worn them and compared them. Memo is much more complex. In the initial spray, this smell, you can't tell the two apart. Like they smell exactly the same. But in the deep dry down, the Memo one will take you on a journey. It will change. It's more complex. It dries down to be something completely different than what you sprayed on. And the My Cup of Tea is just very linear. It smells the exact same from first spray until deep dry down. But I love it. This is like a lemon. This is like a tea, like an Earl Grey tea and lemon cookie fragrance. It's very gourmand. It's beautiful. I've gotten mixed reviews back from people that have bought this. Some people really love it. Some people really don't love it. That's the thing. Like, I feel like I hyped it up, and I did because I love it, but that doesn't mean that everybody else is going to love it. I definitely always recommend you read your own reviews, do your own research before you go out and buy something just because I like it. We all have different noses, we all have different body chemistry, and something that I adore and smells good on me might not be the same on you, and I have a weird body chemistry at that, so But anyways, I adore this fragrance. This was absolutely one of my favorite purchases of 2020 because again, it was super affordable, it's super unique, and it's just a beautiful fragrance to me. It's a beautiful tea and lemon fragrance. Oh my gosh, I love it. So anyways, that is Brocard, My Cup of Tea, 5 o'clock. Okay, now we're just gonna get into a few of my favorites, just favorite purchases of 2020. Then we're going to talk about some unicorns that I was so happy to find in 2020. And then we're going to talk about my love affair with rose and a few of the standout rose perfumes. I didn't want to put too many rose perfumes in here because I'm about to do a whole updated rose video. But first let's talk about a few that I just adored this year. So the first one is Cartier Barcelona Botafumiero. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I just talked about this in my Christmas video, but this is a gorgeous, slightly sweet, very woody incense fragrance, slightly smoky, but mostly woody, sweet incense. I love this fragrance. It's one of my favorite purchases of 2020, and I could not do this video without including it. So that is Cartier Barcelona Botafumiero. Okay, another one that if I had to pick a vintage fragrance, like one of my favorite vintage style fragrances, of everything I smelled this year, this is the best I've smelled all year. It's such a stunner. This is Madeline Peach from Meleg Perfumes. And Matthew Meleg is a little indie house out of Vancouver, Canada. He makes all of his fragrances by hand in his little apartment there in Vancouver. He is like a one-man show. He does his bottles. He formulates his perfume. He's just, if you guys should definitely follow him on Instagram if you don't, because he's just such an interesting, really cool human. I mean, that's all I can say. But this fragrance, he sent this to me some months back, and I've got 3 fragrances from him. This one, though, you guys, is like perfection as far as a vintage fragrance goes. This is his take on Guerlain's Mitsuko, and this is stunning. When this dries down, it's like all about the peach, and I think it has some apricot in it too, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is stunning. This is like a one spray and done perfume too. It's so potent, and the raw materials are such good quality that like one spray and you're good. And if you're looking for like a beautiful vintage style like Mitsuko, oh my gosh, look no further. It's one of my favorite vintage. It is the best vintage style perfume I've smelled all year, hands down. So I had to include this one. It's gorgeous. It's called Madeline Peach from Meleg Perfumes. He does have a website if you guys are interested. And then another one, this is one that I literally just got in the mail a few days ago, but I absolutely fell head over heels in love with it. It was by far one of the standouts for me for the year. I adore this. I want to get my hands on a real bottle. Someday I'm going to hardcore look for one, but this is Amberlicious from Toit, and this is a clone of Hermes Amber Narguilé, and oh my gosh, you guys, this is so stunning. This is one of my favorite amber perfumes in my collection, hands down. This has a gorgeous cinnamon note in it. It's so strong. If I spray it, it's all I'm going to smell for an hour. Oh my gosh, so much cinnamon, amber. It's sweet. It's perfection. It's so good. It's always out of stock. I somehow was able to get it when it was in stock on their website, but it goes out of stock so often. If you guys see this in stock on their website, definitely grab it. It's so good. So that is Amberlicious from Toit. Okay, let's talk. My battery's gonna die. Like, I always feel like I'm always saying that my battery's gonna die. I need to order another one, but Okay, let's talk about some unicorns that I found this year. And incidentally, they are all in red bottles, which is hilarious. But the first one that I want to talk about is one that I have been searching for so long, and I am so happy to finally have a bottle of this. This is the original 2003 formulation of Christian Dior Hypnotic Poison. Beautiful almond, jasmine, anise fragrance. It's so stunning. I love it. This is so much more long lasting. It's so much softer and creamier and well-rounded than the new formulation. You just cannot beat this original formulation. It's a stunner, and I am just so happy to finally have a bottle of this in my collection. And it was stored beautifully because it smells as good and fresh as any of my perfumes. It's a stunner. So that is Christian Dior Hypnotic Poison, the 2003 formulation. And then we've got one that had been on my wish list for so many years. I mean, back when I worked minimum wage jobs and couldn't afford perfume, and I couldn't afford this, and it was a limited edition, and it's been discontinued. This is Fresh Memoirs of a Geisha. I was like obsessed with that book and that movie when it came out. I just felt like it was just such a gorgeous movie. And I wanted this fragrance so much. That movie is kind of what started my love affair with Japan and Japanese culture. Well, no, it didn't really. I think I watched a movie. There was a movie Shogun, back in high school. I had to watch Shogun back in high school in one of my history classes. That's what started my love affair with Japan and Japanese culture. But this Memoirs of a Geisha like reignited it, I should say. And I wanted this fragrance so badly at the time. I could not afford it. And I came across this on Mercari. Oh my gosh. And it's just beautiful. It's super fresh. It's got some kind of like lychee, or it's rose, langsat fruit, which to me smells like it could be lychee or something like that. White peach. It's just a gorgeous fragrance. I'm just so happy to have it in my collection because it's a unicorn that I've been looking for years. So that is Fresh Memoirs of a Geisha. And then last but not least of the unicorns, I found Burberry Brit Red. I've been wanting this fragrance so long, and I finally found a partial bottle of it on Mercari. You can see the liquid I've got about a third of it left. This is the fragrance that I'm wearing today, and this is one of those that it smells beautiful in the bottle, don't get me wrong, but the magic is on the skin. It's such a beautiful gourmand fragrance. It's so cozy, and it smells like the holidays. And it's got this beautiful tart rhubarb note in it, but it's creamy and gourmand and beautiful and spicy. It's got a lot of ginger in it. It's just a stunner of a fragrance. It had been on my wish list for so long, and oh gosh, I cannot tell you how happy I was when I finally came across a bottle on Mercari for a reasonable price. I snatched it up in a hot minute, and I adore it. So that is Burberry Brit Red. That is the third of some of the unicorns I found this year that I was so happy to add to my collection. And last but not least, we're going to talk about a few of the standout rose fragrances that I picked up this year, because 2020 was the year of the rose for me, for sure. I still am obsessed with rose. Like, it's not going away. So let's talk about a few of the fragrances that I adored this year. The first one is Lush Rose Jam. It's gorgeous. It's slightly sweet. It's creamy. It's rose. It's not like an old-fashioned smelling rose, though. It's like a modern old-fashioned rose, if that makes any sense. It's just a stunner of a fragrance. This is like a middle-of-the-road one. It's not a dark rose, but it's not a fresh rose. It's just a stunner. So that is Rose Jam from Lush. I also got like the massage bar to go with that, so that I can put the massage bar on like lotion and then layer that, and then I smell like rose jam for like 2 days. Okay, another standout was one that I had been wanting for a long time. I just finally picked it up. This one got hyped up a ton this year as well, and this is Nina Ricci Lex Stays Rose Absolue, and this is a Francis Kurkdjian creation, and this is just a gorgeous dark rose. This smells like what you would think a black rose would smell like. It's just beautiful, dark, slightly spicy, but not like in a spicy way, if that makes any sense. It's just dark and rich and elegant smelling. It's gorgeous. A lot of people say it's a dupe for Oud Satin Mood or Oud Silk Mood, one of those two. I've smelled Oud Satin Mood. I have not smelled Oud Silk Mood. So if you guys know, let me know, because I'm not sure which one, but it's gorgeous. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful, dark, syrupy rose that is perfect for this time of year and is definitely one of the standout rose fragrances that I picked up this year. So that is Nina Ricci Lex Stays Rose Absolue. And then last but not least is a super standout rose perfume that I picked up this year. This one is so gorgeous and so affordable. This is Trussardi Delicate Rose, and this is just a super fresh, sweet, shampoo-y rose fragrance. Oh my gosh. I get compliments on this one when I wear it. People love this one. It's a crowd pleaser. It's beautiful. It's clean smelling. It's rose without being like in your face rose. Like, I don't know that people would even pick up on the fact that you were wearing a rose perfume. It's just beautiful. It's clean, it's shampoo-y, it's sweet, it's just gorgeous, and it's so affordable, and the bottle is beautiful quality. It's nice, heavy glass. The lid is heavy. It's just a beautiful quality perfume, and it was like in the $20-something range. It's just stunning. It is, like I say, a crowd pleaser. People are gonna love this one. Super safe blind buy, especially if you like rose or you like clean scents. It's definitely just a standout. It lasts forever too. This is a beast of a fragrance. It will get you through 12 hours easily, especially on clothing, but even on skin. It's just a stunner. It was definitely a standout. Not only was this a standout for my rose fragrances that I picked up this year, but it was just a standout as far as for everything that I picked up this year. I just love it. So that is Trussardi Delicate Rose. And that is going to be it. So those are 20 fragrances that stood out to me or that were special to me in this dumpster fire of a year that 2020 has been. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If I don't talk to you guys again before the new year, happy new year to all of you. May we all have a wonderful 2021. If you guys have not yet subscribed, please do before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.